Following on from the previous video, let's give you guys some more practice. So sketch this graph and find the roots. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, let's break this up into two blocks. We've got one block and another block. So when x is small, it wants to do this straight line here because this is in the form of mx plus c. Your intercept here is -6. Your gradient here is +1. Okay, because that's +1. Because you can imagine it like this as a 1, but no one puts a 1 in there. We just leave it as x. So when x is small, it wants to do this straight line. So your intercept is -6, and it wants to do a +1. It wants to do a gradient of +1. So it will have a gradient looking something like this. It's a positive gradient, so it's going uphill. It's going uphill. So when it's big, it wants to do this quadratic. So hang on, from this region, take it down and then straight up again, and then from here straight up. So your graph will look something like this. Notice that this length here is longer than this length here. So our job now is to find the roots. So to find the roots, we have to factorize. We have to factorize this. Hang on. We have to factorize this. So we need to write it in this form. Something multiplied with another thing, x and x. So two numbers multiply together to give you 6. So it can be a 2 and a 3. Multiply these two together, it will give you 6. It could be a 1 and a 6. Now we've got to look at this one here. You see, you can create a 1 with 2 and a 3, but there's no way of you creating a 1 with a 1 and a 6. So we know we can discard this, and we need to concentrate on the 2 and a 3. Well, we've got to create a positive. We've got to create a +1 here. So looking at the 2 and a 3. To create a +1, you have to have +3 and -2. Now, if you multiply this out, this times this will give you -2x. This times this will give you +3x. And then if you merge these two together, it will give you +1. It will give you +1. Well, anyway, to factorize it, it should be, hang on. So to factorize it, it should be this thing here. So now you want to find the two roots. Well, at these 2 points, the y value will be 0. So we need to put 0 into the y. So that will then give us this. Now, how do you make this whole thing to be? How do you make this whole thing to be 0? Well, at the moment you've got one bubble multiplying with another bubble. Well, if you put a -3 into here, then this bubble here will be 0. 0 times anything, it will be 0. And then if you put a +2 into here, then this bubble here will be 0. The point here is that this is +2 and this is -3. Notice that this length here is longer than this length here. So from here to here is 2. From here to here is 3 or -3. Okay, next one. So sketch this and find the roots. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, let's break this up as one block and another block. So when x is small, it wants to do an intercept of 15. Let's just imagine 15 is here, and it wants to do a very steep gradient, and it's a -8 gradient. So it's very steep. It's going to be something like this. Very steep. Okay, very steep. And then it's got to do a quadratic. It's got to do this quadratic thing. It's got to do this quadratic thing later on. Well, anyway, from here, from this region here, take it down and then up again. And then from here, go straight up there. Because when it's big, it still wants to do this quadratic thing here. And when it's small, it wants to do this straight line. So it seems that our two roots will be in the positive realm. In the positive realm, it won't be in the negative realm. it will be in the positive realm. So so now to find these two roots, we've got to factorize. So wait there. So let's factorize. It would be something of this form, x and x. So our eyes should zoom into this bit here. We've got to create a 15. How would you create a 15? Two numbers multiplied together to give you a 15. It could be a 5 and a 3. It could be a 1 and a 15. Anything else? I think that's it. So to create a 15, well, to create a 15, we've got to use this pair or we've got to use this pair. But the thing is, we have to be able to create an 8 here. You see, a 3 and a 5, you can create an 8 with a 3 and a 5, but there's no way of you creating an 8 with a 1 and a 15. So we can discard this and just concentrate on a 5 and a 3. Now, how would you create a negative 8? Well, to create a negative 8, you've got to have negative 5 and negative 3. So now, well, anyway, to factorize this, it will give you this. So now you want to find the two roots. At these 2 points, the y value will be 0. So we need to put 0 into the y. So that will then give us this thing here. Now, here you've got 2 bubbles multiplying with each other. One bubble multiplying with another bubble. Well, if you put a positive 5 in here, that thing there will be 0. If you put a positive 3 into here, then the whole thing would be 0. So as it turns out, this would be 5, this would be 3. Okay, and they're both in the positive realm. So this is a positive and a positive. Well, the true roots are 3 and 5. Okay.